Hey, what's going on, everyone? James9Numbers here, and welcome to a short series that I've decided to create because I felt like it. In this 12-episode series, we will be going through some of the events, new music, new disasters, new games, new memes, and anything that I could find on the internet, blah blah blah, sorry about that has occurred in 2021. I'm sorry that I'm posting this series late. I had some stuff that I had to take care of, but I finally took care of it. So yeah, I was originally supposed to be posting this in the end of December 2021, but due to some time constraints, I actually couldn't make it. So yeah, I'm making this up to you. Each video is going to be representing each month of the year in 2021. Duh. Now keep in mind that I'm probably going to be missing out on a lot of things, and most likely because I'm probably unaware of them at the time of the video is recording. So, yeah, I came up with this idea back in September, and I had to go through the internet over the past 4 months just to see if there was anything that I could find that I wanted to add in the video. I've been trying to keep track since, but I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot that I've been missing out on. So if you want to, you can tell me in the comments below! As long as YouTube doesn't disable my comments again, like, god damn it, YouTube! Why are you doing this to some of my videos, god? Come on, YouTube! Anyways, oh my god, I am so sorry about that. Anyways, I'm also going to be mentioning shows that I've been watching over the past year because this year hasn't gone much better from 2020. I'm not kidding. And yes, I'm looking at my screen right now. I'm trying to read my script because there's no way I can remember all the words. Anyways, also there's going to be a chance that there will be some spoilers for some of what I'm talking about, so I'll make sure to post timestamps so you guys can actually skip forward. Also, some of the movies I've mentioned throughout the series that I actually haven't watched them at all. So I'm only summarizing the synopsis just so that way I can understand just what in the world the movie's about. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoy. On December 2nd, singers Young Bleu and Kehlani released their music video Beautiful Lies. The music video starts with dusty clouds uncovering an area full of hills and a large pointy building that I don't even know what the name of it is called. That's also where the song starts with a catchy old school beat with good ad-libs as well. We also find out that it takes place in a military base, which is freaking awesome. And that's when he starts singing. Apparently Young Bleu he mainly mostly sings the same lyrics for this one, which I'm fine with, because that's all I've managed to get. Apparently he's talking about how he was unable to make his girl happy, and how basically beautiful lies. He wants to hear beautiful lies so that his feelings could be protected and feel good about his relationship with his girl. And he also mentions that his girl's emotionally going through a lot right now, and it's likely they may have broken up. And in the music video, it looks like there's a division in the beginning, but then they end up getting back together and just watching the building vaporize. Okay, I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. What else happened? Apparently the singers walk into a platform that transports him into the large pointy building, and then they enter there that is mostly dark except for its long window that releases pink light, which eventually turns into smoke. And Kehlani also sings in the fog as well, just in order to sing her verse, and then Young Bleu joins. And also, I think it's Kehlani in the uniform. I think that's what her in the uniform. She starts banging the window, apparently wanting to be heard. And then after Kehlani releases flames out of her hands, which is freaking awesome. I like that. Young Bleu teleports back to the Blade base, and yeah, they hug. And then they both, as well as the military crew, watch to see the building just vaporize like magic. Boom. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. Look like the side effects of the just. I want to learn how to do that. On December 3rd, Disney Plus released their Diary of a Wimpy Kid animated movie. For those of you that have seen the 2010 version, please know that the events between the two movies are extremely similar for obvious reasons. The main character, Greg Heffley, is about to enter middle school and gets advice from his older brother, Roderick. Greg and Rowley become extremely unpopular thanks to Rowley's childish personality. Unlike the original, Roderick informs Greg of the cheese touch instead of Chirag Gupta. On Halloween, Greg, Rowley, and Greg's little brother Manny go trick-or-treating. After bumping into three teenagers, Greg and Rowley were dumped with water by Greg's dad, Frank, because he mistaken them for teenagers who basically wouldn't stop trick-or-treating prank wouldn't do tricking every year. Okay, I think I saved it. But anyways, Frank wanted to get revenge on teenagers who were being annoying in the original, and it may have been similar in the movie. Rowley does get injured during a game called Tumble Bike, which is to ride your bike while avoid being hit by snowballs, which that's dangerous. But anyways, Rowley injured his arm and Greg gets punished for causing it to happen. He also tries to be the school's cartoonist and makes it, but the school screws his comics up to make him a laughingstock. After a day of hanging out with unpopular kid Fragley, Greg and Rowley go to the playground to make up before the three teens from earlier show up to force Rowley to eat the cheese. After Greg is saved from the same fate, the students were about to say that Rowley ate the cheese, but Greg saves him and says he ate the cheese, and the kids run away. They eventually become friends again. God damn it, what the hell's happening? I really need to fix my camera. No, it's just the way I'm sitting. I'll have to adjust for that. Alright, the camera's good, and there we go. Alright, let me pull up this next one. On December 6th, the United States had announced a boycott against China for the 2022 Beijing Olympics in response to China's human rights violations among the Uyghurs, a minority Muslim group in Xinjiang. I think that's how you say it. As a result, officials would not be attending the 2022 Olympics. Luckily, athletes would not be affected by this. China has announced that it would respond with countermeasures to protest President Biden's diplomatic boycott. However, they don't have a clear measure of what to do yet, as of that time. China has said that the U.S. was spreading lies and rumors, accusing them of politicizing the Olympics. Relations were likely going to be further strained, even though there was a summit the previous month that helped them improve a bit. There was lots of bickering online between officials in both countries. A few other countries, such as Australia, the UK, and Canada, have actually joined the boycott since then. They cited religious treatment in Xinjiang and Tibet, as well as political treatment in Hong Kong and Taiwan as major factors. A former Chinese leader was also allegedly responsible for sexual assault. Human rights groups have praised the boycott and wanted even more action done to help protect these people. So, yeah, communism is bad. On December 10th, the movie West Side Story was released in the US. It's New York City in the 1950s. A Caucasian street gang known as the Jets are gathering paint to harass residents, but bump into their rival Puerto Rican gang known as the Sharks. Oh yeah, and this movie is also a musical, so if you don't like singing like me, it's probably not for you. But anyways, after fighting, we meet our main character Tony, who is a part of the Jets. He had just been released from prison. He and his friend Riff go to a shop where Tony works under her boss Valentina. They and a bunch of people go to a dance, and bumping into each other so often leads to another fight. Man, they love to fight. They support the aggression principle, apparently. While there, he and the love of his life, Maria, dance under the bleachers, and then both gangs agree to a fight. Everyone is going to bring weapons with them. Maria and Tony express each other's love on her balcony. Maria also defies authority that is trying to prevent her from seeing him. Tony and Maria go on a date in a train as he tries to speak Spanish to her. The Jets are questioned by the police, but they manage to escape after a transgender prisoner tries to fight one of the Jets. Oh my god, damn. At the fight, Riff and the Sharks member Bernardino stab each other to death before cops arrive. Chino stole Riff's gun during the fight. He runs into Maria's apartment to falsely tell her he killed Bernardino. She still keeps her love for him after expressing her anger. The Jets attacked and almost raped Anita before Valentina stops it and gets called a traitor. After falsely assuming Maria died, Tony gets informed of it and calls Chino to kill him. He gets shot twice in the back, and Maria comes to Tony's side before saying a few last words. Maria then steals Chino's guns and threatens to be a mass murderer in hopes that there is enough for her to take her own life. Enough bullets, by the way. Police arrive to arrest Chino, and both gangs ended up settling with a truce. Well, it was too late for that. Jeez, so many deaths. Surely they all got most of them got life in prison. Jesus. Between December 10th and December 11th, there was a tornado outbreak in the southern and midwestern U.S. Starting on December 10th, at least 61 tornadoes and thunderstorms showed up, with some going over 100 miles from Texas to Georgia and Idaho. No, Ohio. Sorry about that. With one having peak winds at 190 miles per hour, the winds have caused a lot of damage to homes, power lines, and other typical resources. 8 states were affected by this outbreak. More than 80 people would die as a result of these tornadoes. Most of the fatalities came from Kentucky. There wasn't much to prove that these tornadoes were caused by global warming, however, but the warmer temperatures did end up being a contributing factor for the creation of the thunderstorms. Since most tornadoes tend to occur between April and June, people likely did not see this outbreak coming. However, tornadoes can occur at any time of the year. It's just that they're less common, but they can still be formed. Okay, sorry about that. On December 17th, Spiderman No Way Home was released in the US. The movie starts with Peter Parker's identity as Spider-Man being exposed by the Daily Bugle, who framed him for the death of Mysterio in the previous movie and the Battle of London. He and his girlfriend, Michelle Jones, get caught after trying to evade police, and the media, his charges get dropped after hiring an excellent attorney. Yeah, that's what happens when you're rich. You can get away with almost anything, really. But they do get rejected to every college as a result of the controversy. Peter visits Doctor Strange to help make Spider-Man's identity secret again. Strange does it despite a request to not do so by Wong, and the spell becomes unstable after Peter tries to alter the spell. Peter tried to alter the spell when he realized people close to him would not have to suffer through its effects. Afterwards, he fights Dr. Octopus and saves an MIT admin from death after taking control of the Doctor's tentacles. Green Goblin also attacks, but then they get transported to the Sanctum, where he learns that Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, and Lizard are from the multiverse due to the spell failing. Sorry about that. Parker gets magic as an upgrade for his suit to capture them. He meets with Sandman and works together to help Electro restore his body. Then Peter steals the Machina, I'll say Machina because it's more fun, which reverses the spells and spares the monster's lives. Afterwards, he tries to help cure the multiverse refugees at a condominium owned by Hogan. Hogan later gets arrested by authorities. Spider-Men from different universes started arriving after Leeds opened a portal with the Sing Ring on accident. After an empowering scene, the three Spider-Men go into battle with the villains. They try but fail to get the arc reactor because it's giving Electro more energy to fight. After everyone gets sent back home by Doctor Strange, the pumpkin bomb by Green Goblin, which contained the spell, explodes and makes the multiverse unstable. After curing Osborn with a serum, who turned out to be Green Goblin, Osborn realized the error of his ways and the rest of the universe were repaired. Doctor Strange releases his spell and people are unaware of Parker's existence. He visits May's grave, who actually died in the movie, to pay his respects. Parker is now currently trying to get his GED while his friends are in MIT. Wow, have you ever been like, everyone is like so talented and yet you're the one who's like the one with like nothing? Yeah, I'm sure that would suck. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust again. I don't know what's up today. I guess today's just not my day. On December 18th, there was a rematch between Jake Paul and former welterweight UFC champion Tyron Woodley in Tampa, Florida, after boxer Tommy Fury dropped out of his match due to a severe bacterial infection and a broken rib. Jake threw a lot of shade at Tommy and his family. Fury also threw some shade at Jake, stating that beating Jake Paul wouldn't have given him much credit in the boxing world. The match had 8 rounds, and after the first match, Jake said that he would fight Woodley again, if Woodley got a tattoo that said, "I love Jake Paul." Tyrone got it in his middle finger, nice, but Jake said it was too late. Frickin' Jake Paul. Man, come on, Jake, why? But anyways, Tyron would have earned an extra $500,000 if he could knock out Jake Paul. Now, obviously, there were a lot of other fights that night alongside this one, but this fight was the biggest. Jake Paul once again managed to beat Tyron Woodley. I may have pronounced him multiple different ways. I'm sorry, Tyrone. I'm sorry if I'm botching your name, but damn. Does it make him the best fighter then? I don't know. We'll see one day. We shall see one day. It's just a matter of when. Oh my god, this is long. Alright, on December 22nd, the movie The King's Man was released in the US. The movie takes place in South Africa during 1902. We meet our main character, Orlando the Duke of Oxford, with his family. His wife gets killed by a sniper after the sniper shoots her in the abdomen and gets killed himself by the bodyguard Shola. 12 years later, Orlando is learning to train from Shola while talking to his son Conrad, and then go to a tailor shop where business meetings used to be held. Meanwhile, a group of tyrants led by a hidden Scottish villain known as the Shepherd are assembled, with each member assigned a ring with an animal icon. Whoa, that is neat. One of the most well-known ones, Rasputin, gets one of his goats killed after complaining about what he got. Oh my god, that's horrible. Meanwhile, Conrad and Orlando are riding through a parade with Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Okay, yeah, you can guess where this is going. After a failed bombing attempt that blows up the car behind, Archduke's car attempts to get to safety but bumps into a dead end. The killer, Princeps, killed Archduke and his wife before getting arrested. Sorry about the pause, by the way. I just needed to get to where I was, reading this script that I wrote a few months ago, but never managed to get the time to actually record this. But, you know, it's all good. This is the last one. I will not be doing something like this again after this, and oh my god, my mouth was off the camera again. Damn it! Alright, today's just not my day. Anyways, afterwards, Orlando tells his son about his three cousins who ruled England, Germany, and Russia. After 2 years of World War I, Shepherd celebrates his victory but plans on having Russia pull out of the war due to England oppressing Scotland. After Russia pulls out, likely due to the Red Revolution, Orlando and General Kitchener get into an argument about the war, but Conrad wants to join. Kitchener wrote a letter to Orland. I think I meant to write down Orlando, but damn it, typo errors. It happens all the fucking time. Like, what the hell, man? Just before his ship was destroyed by a missile. Afterwards, Orlando and Conrad and a couple of others go to the secret headquarters where Princeps is being held but is about to be executed. After Princeps gets saved, he tells them about the organization he was in, and Rasputin was the first target to assassinate. When they arrive in Russia, they infiltrate Rasputin's dinner, and Orlando gets taken to Rasputin's chamber. Rasputin heals the leg by licking the wound on his leg and then eat cake. Orlando dips his leg at a frozen lake, realizing that the cake had cyanide. Oh my god. That's damn. Apparently, Rasputin wants to develop immunity by taking poison every day. Well, that's one way of doing it. After Rasputin and Orlando get into a fight, Rasputin gets stabbed to death, and during Conrad's birthday, the gang discovers a message that he was trying to get Germany and Mexico to join forces by invading the US. Conrad goes to war after switching places with a soldier, fighting against the German army. He and other soldiers are told to recover an informant from the battlefield. After a big fight that Conrad manages to escape, he and the informant get attacked, with both of them getting killed after Conrad gets wrongly accused of being a German spy. After Conrad's funeral, Orlando finds written proof about Wilhelm's secretary about the German-Mexico message from earlier. One of the female villains, Hari, gets sent to the U.S. to seduce Woodrow Wilson. But Orlando just shows up and catches up to her and then strangles her in self-defense. How does one strangle someone in self-defense? How is that possible? It doesn't make sense. But anyways, after showing the evidence, the gang prepares to storm the enemies from an airplane. After getting stuck at the bottom of a cliff, he managed to get saved by the shepherd's goat. During an attempt to blackmail Wilson, the gang beats the enemy's ass, and the shepherd is discovered to be Morton, who was Orlando's assistant. After Morton dies, the U.S. gets involved and eventually ends the war. The gang later forms a secret organization known as the Kingsman Agency in honor of Conrad. Poor Conrad. May he rest in peace. On the same day, the movie Sing 2, which is the sequel to the movie Sing, was released in the U.S. The main characters are all the characters are literally just a bunch of animals acting like regular humans and wearing regular clothes, just like in Zootopia. The story opens with Mina the elephant, and yes, I will be saying their name as long as what species they are because, well, let's face it, without the context, I don't think most people, including myself, would never understand. Running through the woods until she finds a magical forest, which is actually just a musical production in a theater she is in. After crushing their dreams, Suki the talent scout, and I didn't say what animal they were, but oh well, tells one of their main characters about auditions in Red Shore City. Red Shore City. Wow. That's crazy. Anyways, Buster the koala goes to a local concert venue with Ash the porcupine to perform after Buster feels discouraged. The club manager gave Ash less than expected because he didn't like the performance. The entire gang, with the exception of Johnny the gorilla and Mina, traveled to Red Shore City via bus, which is like Las Vegas. The gang sneaked into Crystal Entertainment since they did not book an appointment. Yikes. When the entire gang was about to perform, they get cut immediately by the owner of the establishment, Jimmy Crystal, who is a wolf. Gunther the pig gives him the idea for a sci-fi musical, Clay Cowboy, who is a rock star lion well known around the universe. Jimmy gives them 3 weeks, and the group is trying to find a way about how they will set up the show. Miss Crowley, an iguana who is Buster's assistant, is sent to find Calloway. After a drive, alright, I think my sitting positions keep changing all the time. I think it's jacking up the video. God dang it. Okay, where was I? After a drive, Calloway fires at Miss Crowley with a paintball gun since she was on his property. Okay, he's practicing his Second Amendment rights. Granted, it's a paintball, but you know what? It's fine. Johnny, who is responsible for the dance routine, I'm just making sure the door's closed. Okay, where was I? Dang it. Tries his best to practice to dance from one of the best instructors, but he was just being an asshole. Rosita is playing the star of the show and is fearful knowing she has to bungee jump. Jimmy's daughter, Portia, came to check on the crew since she loves Calloway and was so good at bungee jumping she has offered to be the star of the show. The only problem was that she sucked at acting. Mina meets another elephant named Alfonso who runs an ice cream business and treats her like royalty. Wow! That's lucky. Jimmy goes through an intense outrage after learning that Calloway didn't even know who Buster was, but decides to continue the show knowing that his daughter would be in it. Buster and Ash go to Calloway's home, and after getting electrocuted by fences, they learn that Calloway had retired from performing for 15 years after his wife died. Yeah, that took a very dark turn. Ash offers to play some music for him to help get through to him. Meanwhile, Johnny meets a street performer named Nushi the Lynx. He seeks her help so that he can improve on his dancing and proves he is talented by singing at the cafe where everyone can hear him. Yeah, because that would not bring attention. Anyways, Klaus the monkey, who is Johnny's original teacher, feels threatened after Johnny was making progress with Nushi. Buster tries to get Portia and Rosita to switch roles, but Portia mistakenly... Hang on. Alright, I'm going to start from where I left off. Buster tries to get Portia and Rosita to switch roles, but Portia mistakenly thinks He's firing her, and Jimmy is so close to throwing Buster from the roof. Yeah, he actually made a threat like that earlier in the movie, so yeah. The show gets canceled, but Johnny jokes and accidentally gives them the idea of putting on the show without Jimmy knowing. Buster tries to get people in, saying the show is free. Yes, a free show, and that Calloway would be in it. While the show is playing, Jimmy finds out that he and his gang try to break in to stop the show, and fail horribly. It's very funny. In the play, some moments happen, and we see a character moment with Calloway joining Ash on a song. After the crowd was pleased with uproar, Jimmy gets arrested for threatening murder. Yeah, threatening someone to be thrown off the roof, not a good look. Majestic Theater offers Calloway and the main cast, as well as Portia, the opportunity to perform their Out of This World, that's what it was all called, and they take it. So yeah, that was fun. I'm glad the daughter got something after her father got arrested, so yeah, let's go. Oh, wait. Damn it. I'm still not good with the camera after all these years. On the same day, again, the movie The Matrix Resurrections was released in the US. The movie starts with reenacting Trinity's escape from the original movie. However, Neo's presence ends up being the reason why the Matrix isn't real at all. Shocker! Morpheus and Bugs are running away from agents, and they manage to escape thanks to Sequoia opening a door. There's a company called Deus Machina where Thomas Anderson is working on a Matrix video game. The modal gets fucked and then gets stolen after taking a break. Tom gets called to a meeting with his boss Smith, who talks about the next sequel, Matrix 4 the game. We later find out that Tom takes blue pills, but he doesn't use them on this specific day. Morpheus and his gang are trying to rescue Tom from the Matrix, but he thinks he's hallucinating. We find out Tom saved Bugs from the Matrix, and Bugs and Neo go to an abandoned theater in Tokyo. While Bugs and Morpheus try to convince Neo to take a red pill, they get swarmed and escape through a Tokyo Station bathroom mirror. Wow. Weird, I know. After Neo wakes up in a Matrix pod with Trinity, Morpheus tells Neo that he changed the world due to the events from the previous movie, and Neo was going to undergo some training. With the dojo being ripped, he wakes up in a Nemesine, I think the M is silent, where he admits that his memories would turn to a video game if he was released. After giving machines respect, don't ask why, Neo then gets into prison, and then he gets help escaping to free Trinity. After another fight where Neo gets his powers back, he tries to talk to Trinity at her motorcycle shop. He learns about bullet time, the ability to slow down time until a bot shows up, and Neo does what he always does, which is to catch bullets. After he calls Tiffany Trinity, yes, people have been calling Trinity Tiffany, Niobe, I think that's what it's called, the leader of the city, gets pissed at Bugs, but before anything happens, Saki discovers Trinity's location and wants to free her. Neo later on makes a deal with the analyst that is dependent on whether Trinity comes back to the Matrix. Trinity later goes to a coffee shop and confesses that she had been playing the game. Neo gets arrested again and gets saved by Trinity, and then another fight happens. While Neo and Trinity escape, Smith kills the analyst right when they needed to exit the Matrix. We find out Neo can't fly, but they once again get saved by Bugs and Morpheus. Damn, there's so much saving. I wish I could be a part of this. Trinity's body had given up outside of the Matrix, but there's no time now because Neo and Trinity get attacked by helicopters and evade them yet again. How the hell do they keep doing that? That's freaking awesome. At the top of the skyscraper, Neo becomes a shield and then helicopters crash. Trinity kisses Neo and then Neo makes another attempt at flying. Ironically, Trinity is the one who is able to fly. After more events with helicopters, they finally make it back to the real world. In the Matrix, Trinity finds the revived analyst and kicks him for using the name Tiffany as a joke. A gaping hole, yes, that's what it says, appears after they return to the real world. After asking some questions, Neo and Trinity fly from the skies to the Matrix to change the world. Wow. Alright, next one. On December 25th, a movie, A Journal for Jordan, which stars an actor named Michael Jordan, No, not the basketball player, was released in the US. The movie is based on a true story using the journals of a couple to tell the story. The story is about a romance of two people with a powerful bond that was otherwise impossible to create. First Sergeant Charles Monroe King was deployed to Iraq when his wife, with New York Times reporter Dana Kennedy, I think that's how you say it, was pregnant with their son. She gives him a journal, and King would keep track of everything he has seen and wants to say in the journal. He even said that crying helps release lots of pain and stress and isn't a sign of weakness. Dana wrote the book after her husband's death. In the story, we first see Dana get pissed at her editor for wanting to add another reporter in her story. Meanwhile, Charles is hanging up a picture as a gift to her father. They both have very different personalities, but Dana's father served in the military and she knows how much of a sacrifice it is to be a military wife. Dana does not have a close relationship with her father like King does, so King decides to help a little to mend it. At the end of the movie, we see Dana and her son, who has gotten a little older, and she starts understanding how Charles helped shape her as a whole. She even uses his journal to help her son understand what King was like before he was killed in combat. Wow, what a nice message. On the same day, the movie American Underdog was released in the US, which is also inspired by a true story. The movie stars a young man named Kurt Warner, who is encouraged to play American football by Joe Montana on TV. We later find out that he is a fifth-year player at the University of Northern Iowa. Although he's a good player, he always ends up outside the field. While Kurt is watching the TV and videotapes to prepare for the draft, no, not the military draft, his friends take him to a local bar where country music is being played. He actually hates country music. He also meets a girl named Brenda on the dance floor. The next day, he asks one of his teammates to teach him how to dance. He tries to make a good impression on Brenda, but he doesn't get her number. We find out that Brenda has a toddler and a young child named Zach who is legally blind. Damn, that sucks. Kurt goes to her house and helps her fix his radio by giving it new batteries. Kurt invites Brenda to his next football game and gives Kurt her phone number after she asks where her car is. Kurt is benched for the game and is told that if he wants to play, he has to stay in the pocket, which is the field players should be in. He does manage to do exactly that in the next game, and he then talks to Brenda out on a date with his truck and learns that Zach's brain damage due to his father dropping him at 4 months old, as well as her time in the Marines. Wow, that's horrible. Anyways, Kurt meets Brenda's mom and she's not impressed with him. Wow, awkward. Kurt really wants to continue his future with Brenda and her kids. At Zach's birthday party, Zach offers Kurt some cake after Kurt failed to make it to the draft. We find out from Brenda's dad that he was signed to the Packers and gets a $5,000 bonus, which he spends on a green SUV. He goes to Wisconsin for training camp, but he gets cut for not understanding the playbook of the Packers. He gets a job at a grocery store after buying food with food stamps. Yeah, that sucks. He also can't get a date and set up with Brenda, and their schedules were not lined up at all. After a football play makes a mess, he and Brenda eat lunch where they meet Jim Foster, coach of the Iowa Barnstormers. Although Kurt refuses, Brenda takes the card and Jim drops money to make it look like he accidentally dropped it. Kurt wants to prove himself to Brenda and her family, and after a motivating speech by Brenda's dad, they move to Arkansas to be in their dream home. However, they move into an apartment they can barely afford and run out of gas during a road trip. Kurt goes on a journey to get gas from the gas station and starts making a commitment to Brenda and her kids. He then moves to another town where the Barnstormers, who are in the Arena Football League, play and meet old college classmates. Checks are sent to Brenda and Kurt learns that for every touchdown he gets $100. That's impressive. Brenda and Kurt are struggling with their new long-distance relationship and eventually get into an argument. Although he scores the winning touchdown on his next game, he isn't as excited as Brenda isn't there to celebrate it with him. We find out that her parents were killed in a tornado destroying their house. The family holds a memorial for the parents where they scatter their ashes. After mourning, Kurt and Brenda get married. Although they reach the Arena Bowl, they lose the championship and Kurt meets a team executive for the St. Louis Rams who try to get a hold of Kurt, but Coach Foster prevented that from happening. Kurt arrives at the Rams training facility and there's debate on whether he is good enough for the Rams. After Kurt shows his resilience, he becomes a backup quarterback on the team. After Trent Green tears his ACL, he makes a statement about rallying around Kurt Warner. Brenda gives Kurt a pep talk and learns from Zach, making him emotional. After winning the game, Kurt finds Brenda and kisses her, and then text appears to tell us what Kurt and Brenda have been doing since then. Wow, this is the last movie I'm discussing in 2021. Finally, it's about time too. Yeah, this took a pretty long time with the movies, with me trying to explain it to you guys. I really hope I did well, but maybe not. Anyways, moving on. Alright, this is the second to last one. Alright, here we go. On December 26th, South African civil rights leader Desmond Tutu died at the age of 90. For those of you that don't know, Desmond Tutu became famous for being a fighter against apartheid, which separated blacks and whites in South Africa, and a voice for black rights. He also spoke on other issues such as gay rights, the Iraq War, and the Israel-Palestinian conflict. His fight against apartheid helped him earn the 1984 Nobel Peace Prize. For a fighter, he has a rough childhood from suffering major burns to being infected with polio. A battle of tuberculosis ended up making him miss a year of academics, though he did continue his studies at the hospital. He even managed to get into university, which was rare back in his day. His father was abusive to his mother as he would drink alcohol. After going through a few jobs, he found a mentor from a church that would change his life forever. Although he wants to make his father proud by going to teaching, he really wanted to study medicine. He went into teaching as his family didn't have enough funds for him to pursue medicine. He had to abandon teaching after the Bantu Education Act was passed, which helped start apartheid by separating students based on their race in education. Blacks were hurt most by this policy. Since he was a strong Christian, he became a priest, shocking those around him. One of the most significant events he witnessed was the Sharpeville Massacre, when cops shot at anti-apartheid protesters without warning. He and his family moved to London in 1962 so he could get a master's degree in theology. He was amazed at how much freer he was, even challenging his thoughts to a white majority community. He moved back to South Africa in 1966, and the country was more divided than when he left. He had to carry a pass at all times, and he even had to ask official permission to see his parents. He traveled a little more until he came back in 1974. He was not happy about the Soweto uprising either, which was a stand by black school children as a response against a policy that banned blacks from learning English. Yes, they banned blacks from learning English, resulting in school children being shot. He wrote a letter to the Prime Minister about the problems. Until apartheid ended in 1994, his passport was seized for joining a protest and risked jail time for telling people to boycott elections. He mainly did nonviolent protesting to help end apartheid around the country. He became the first black bishop of Johannesburg and later became the Anglican Archbishop of Cape Town. Okay, sorry about that. Since apartheid, many have criticized him for his views on gay marriage, and his family faced their own struggles, from his eldest son making a bomb threat to suing his own granddaughter for property damage. Wow. Your own granddaughter. That's crazy. But he was appointed to the chairman of the country's Truth and Reconciliation Commission by Nelson Mandela to uncover the atrocities of apartheid. He celebrated the diversity in South Africa by calling it a rainbow nation. He also called out the government for refusing to grant a visa for the Dalai Lama, which prevented him from attending Tutu's 80th birthday, which the government denied. Of course they did. Furthermore, people were critical of Tutu for not receiving the economic opportunities they expected since the end of apartheid. Tutu even granted amnesty to some of the perpetrators. He also conducted funeral services between 1990 and 1994, with the most memorable being the Boycott massacre. Tutu rebuked the African National Congress for blocking the Commission's 1998 report, which found the party guilty of human rights violations. Wow. During the last few years of his life, he went through surgery for prostate cancer and went to the hospital frequently to help fight off against infection. He and his wife lived in a retirement community outside Cape Town. His funeral was held in Cape Town, where Tutu has been described as South Africa's spiritual leader and moral compass. There is a 7-day mourning period for his loss. Wow, he made a really massive impact for South Africa. And lastly, on December 31st, Golden Girls actress Betty White died at the age of 99, which was so close to being a super centenarian. She played Rose Nyland from the popular TV show The Golden Girls for the entire series from 1985 to 1992. Her agent Jeff Witches confirmed it in People's Magazine. She has also been on radio in the 1940s and was in the 1949 TV variety show Hollywood on Television with Al Jarvis. She became a breakout star on the Mary Tyler Moore Show as Sue Ann Nivens and had her own show later on. She won lots of awards from Emmys to Lifetime Achievement Awards as well as nominations for Golden Globes. It has been reported that she died from natural causes at 9:30 a.m. local time. Starting her acting career in 1939, she had the longest acting career in women's acting history. It was officially recorded in Guinness's Book of World Records. She also got to help create a sitcom called Life with Elizabeth. She was in a Snickers Super Bowl ad in 2010 where she was at a football field during a team's training. She even got a chance to host Saturday Night Live and be on The Simpsons. She had just been on the news after making a statement on fellow actor Ryan Reynolds having a thing for her. They were both in the 2009 film The Proposal. She also has expressed her support for animal advocacy throughout her entire life. She had not only outlived her husband, Alan Ludden, who died in 1981 from stomach cancer, but she also outlived her Golden Girls castmates. She had always been cool with an upbeat nature and popular with people despite these hard times. Originally from Oak Park, Illinois, she moved to LA at 2, and her father would trade the radios he built for dogs in order to make a profit. That was where her love for animals came from. She originally had dreams of being a forest ranger or a writer. She was married 3 times throughout her life as well. Wow, people were definitely rooting for her to be 100 as well. So anyways, guys, that's the end of the series, and I really hope everyone has let me restart the outro. That's the end of the series, everyone, and as always, if there's anything that I've missed, feel free to put it in the comments below. I will certainly never be doing this type of series ever again because this takes too much work. I'm so glad this is finally over. I hope you all have enjoyed. I'll see you guys later for a different type of video. Peace out.
Time for the bloopers.
On December 2nd, singers Bleu and Kehlani released their music video, Beautiful Lies, and I really love the song. The video starts off with a catchy old beat with good ad-libs from Kehlani, I'm assuming, which is pretty good. And there's also dusty clouds that are uncovering an area that is eventually goes away, and it turns out it's a full of... No, this is horrible! Alright. On the same day, the movie American Underdog was released in the US, which is also inspired by a true story. The movie stars a young man named Kurt Warner, who is encouraged to play American football by Joe Montana on TV. The movie stars a main... Okay, what? And lastly, on December 31st, Golden Girls actress Betty White died at the age of 99, which was so close to being a centenarian. She played Rose Nyland from the popular TV show The Golden Girls for the entire series from 1985 to 1992. Her agent, Jeff Witches, confirmed it in People's Magazine. She also has been on radio in the 1940s and was in the 1949 TV variety show Hollywood on Television with Al Jarvis. She became a breakout star on the Mary Tyler Moore Show as Sue Ann Nivens and had her own show later on. She won lots of awards from Emmys to Lifetime Achievement Awards, as well as nominations for Golden Globes. It has been reported that she died from natural causes at 9:30 a.m. local time. Starting her acting career in 1939, she had the longest acting career in women's acting history. It was officially recorded in Guinness's Book of World Records. She also got to help create a sitcom called Life with Elizabeth. She was in a Snickers Super Bowl ad in 2010 where she was at a football field during a team's training. She even got the chance to host Saturday Night Live and be on The Simpsons. Okay, yeah, I think that's about it. Ah, damn it!